How can you tell if a woman is not into you? Guys, when you put yourself out there, you approach a girl, maybe you match with someone online, maybe you've already met this girl and you've had a first date, it is very important to understand that you do not know what you don't know. And you can very well meet a woman who isn't over an ex. She has low self-esteem. She's settling for you. She has other personal problems going on and she's not serious about dating. With this in mind, it is very important to be aware that when you go on a date with a girl, or just because a woman talks with you a little bit and you're getting to know her, that she still might not be that into you. She might be doing it out of pity. She might be doing it because she's lowering her standards, or because she's young and doesn't really know what she wants. So with that in mind, I've made this video and I'm going to cover 10 signs that a woman is not into you. And this is going to be especially helpful for my younger viewers. Some of you guys that are in your late teens, you're finishing, your final years at school, maybe you're going into college, maybe you're in your 20s, you're in a group setting, you go out on the weekends and there's a girl you really like, or you're getting to know her and you can just kind of tell something's off, but you just want to gain clarity. This is really going to cut around the edges and give you a complete picture of what's going on. So here are 10 signs that a woman is not into you. Number 1 is minimal or no effort in communication. So if you match on a dating app, you've already approached her in person, when you do reach out, she doesn't really initiate conversation. And when you make that extra effort to reach out, her responses are short, delayed, they lack enthusiasm, they're very quiet, very one-word answers. It's like she seems very uninterested in continuing a conversation. Because I've had a lot of guys message me and they often ask me, Christian, can you make a video on this topic because I'm always confused by a woman's behavior? Well, here's the reality. When women like you, they make it obvious. When they don't, you're just going to be confused. So that's the first thing. If you've matched with a girl online or you've met her out somewhere and you exchange contact info and her answers seem very dry, very bleak, and she's not really interested in furthering a conversation, that's a sign that she's not that into you. Number 2, lack of engagement in conversations. So what does this mean? When you do talk with her, she doesn't ask personal questions or show genuine interest in getting to know you better. Remember, when you are into a girl, you want to know everything about her. You're enamored by her. You're blown away by her beauty. You really want to get to know her, don't you? So you're naturally going to ask her a lot of questions. Even for you guys that have dealt with women in the past that really liked you, or for anybody watching all my viewers, you can even agree. When a woman really likes you, she does most of the talking. She wants to ask you lots of questions because she wants to know everything about you, because she's attracted to you. She wants to see what you're all about. But when a woman isn't that into you, and you'll notice you're the one that's doing most of the talking, you're kind of keeping the conversation afloat. And similar to how when you text, you get like one-word replies during the texting conversation, like there's nothing there. Or here, when you're actually talking, or even when you're texting, you're not getting much back from her. She's not really asking you anything about you that's coming from her heart. And if you're the one asking questions, sure, she may respond with the same question that you asked initially, but questions that are coming from her own heart to ask you, you're not seeing any of them. Okay, so that's a very big thing. And when you do talk with her, or you meet this girl in person, maybe you had your first date, or you're just out and about talking with her, she seems distracted, she's always uninterested, she's changing the subject, her eyes are looking elsewhere, she's not really focused on you, she's not present with you, she's not engaged with you. That's very big. And this is what it's all about. Because when a woman really likes you, She gives you her full attention, and she's just going to be asking you everything because she's curious about you, because she likes you. So when you have a girl that's not asking you personal questions, or you're on that date and she's kind of looking away, she's kind of distracted, she's not that into you. Number 3, and this is usually where guys are stuck at if you haven't had a first date. Maybe you match with a girl online, you approach her in person, you get her number, and you think, yeah, I've got the girl. And then you ask for a date. If she's always cancelling plans, doesn't follow through, last minute something happened, or gives you excuses, there's a very high chance that she's not that into you, and she probably just gave you her number to just throw you off the hook. Because there are some women out there who, obviously they're afraid of some guys. I mean, just look how some modern men are nowadays. So when a guy approaches them, they will give them their genuine phone number, because that guy might be neurotic, and in the moment he might pull out his phone, or let me check if your number's real type thing. And she doesn't want to deal with a man who's confrontational, because women want to avoid conflict. So she may very well give you her genuine number. So what usually happens in these cases is, when you text her or you call her back later on that day or whenever it is, she might just text you a little bit and then just kind of let it fade away, hoping you get the message. So guys in these cases get kind of confused with that. They're like, I asked for her number, she gave it to me, now I'm asking her for a date and she doesn't want to show up, what's going on? Dude, she's not that into you. If she thought you were the most handsome guy, you're exactly her type, and she's ready, willing and able to date, there's no ex, nothing's holding her back, she's able to date you and she likes you, she's going to show up. She will make time for you. So if you're getting excuses, she's cancelling on you, and it's happening multiple times over and over again, I would just let that girl go. She's not that into you. And if you've had a first date, for you guys, maybe you've had a first date or a second date, and now when you're asking her for another one, she's cancelling on you, she's kind of disappearing or fading away. What probably happened on that date from her end, as she got to know you, she sensed that there's a lack of compatibility. Maybe she just really didn't like your personality, or there were some red flags. She realised you're not the right guy for her. So she's letting you off softly. That can happen here too. And that's why you date. You might have that first or second date and you feel the same way about the girl and you're the one pulling away. It does happen. So please be mindful of this. If it happens, she's not that into you. And if she genuinely likes you, she would make time to reschedule for a later date. I've mentioned this in previous videos, and it's very important to know that when a girl likes you, if she's truly unavailable, but she really likes you, what is she going to do? She's going to reschedule. She's going to, I'll get back to you with a counter offer, right? That's what she does. You know, if you say, I'll pick you up Friday at 8, does that work for you? And she truly can't, she'll give you an explanation and she'll get back with you right away or as soon as possible when she's free, and then she'll actually show up. So when women like you, they'll give you a counter offer. Very simple stuff. If they don't, they're just not that into you. Number 4, there's no effort to look nice around you. So if you've had a first date with a girl, you've gone on a few dates, and you notice she doesn't really dress up, she doesn't really beautify herself to look good for you, she probably doesn't see you romantically. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are some young girls out there, guys, they don't know what they're looking for in a guy. They're going on a date for the experience, to just learn, see what they like, but they probably sense that they just don't have those feelings for you, so they don't want to put that effort in. But it's a very clear sign that they're not that into you. I mean, you see have you ever observed girls, and for you younger guys, when you're in college, at the gym, or anything like that, and you see a guy walk past that they have a crush on, watch how their behavior switches up when he walks past or close to them. They're looking at their makeup, they're fixing their hair, they're making sure they look pretty, they want to be presentable to him. So if a girl isn't looking presentable to you, she probably doesn't care. Not that into you. And you could argue, well, Christian, it's not really a definitive sign. I do think it is. But if you combine it with all the other signals, then it adds up. Number 5, she keeps the conversation strictly friendly. So if you're on a date with a girl, and this one can sting for some of you guys, and she refers to you as a friend, or you match with her on a dating app, and then she refers to you as a buddy, she's setting the tone straight away that she doesn't want anything flirty or romantic. And some of you may be thinking, yeah, but Christian, you just said, she refers to you as a friend and you've had a first date. She's telling you this on the first date. Sure. There are some girls out there who will settle for you. They don't think you're that attractive, and they will try and friend zone you. Obviously, it's immoral, and you want to avoid those sort of women anyway because they're not good for you. But there are women out there who they see guys as male friends, and they'll take them out on a date and consider you like hanging out as a friend. They don't really consider it a date, but because you're into her, you consider it a date. And they're like, oh no, we're just friends. And when you see that happen to you when your jaw drops, it's because you're lusting and you're not looking at her interest. You're not looking to see if she's truly into you. And that's where a lot of young men go wrong. They focus on their own interest level, and you neglect the fact that girl just doesn't really feel the same way about you. Another thing she might do if a woman is trying to friend zone you, basically, is she'll mention other guys she's into. So if you've matched with a girl online, you've met a girl in a group setting, you've approached a girl, you got a number, whatever, and you text her, you call her, or you're on a date, or you're just talking with a girl, and she starts talking about another guy she's into, that's telling you two things. Number one, it says that she's single, because obviously she's talking about another guy. And number two, she's into someone else who's not you. Because it's very different a girl saying, look, I have a boyfriend or I have a husband, get away from me. No, thanks. Some girls who are single and they want to just get rid of a guy, but they're, not into him, they will just tell him flat out, look, so this other guy I really like, he's so nice, oh, he's so handsome. And they do that to make you feel uncomfortable and kind of like put the brakes on and leave her alone. She's not into you. Number 6, she lacks physical affection and closeness. So she'll avoid physical contact, such as touching your arm, hugging you, or maintaining prolonged eye contact. You'll see that her body language, she'll pull away to create distance. Body language is closed off, chest folded, like she makes herself look small. She's kind of like looking away from you. She's keeping more to herself. And when you observe women that are actually into men, look what they do. They smile, they bump into him, they're kind of looking at him with those eyes, their pupils dilate, they smile, their voice pitch heightens. When women are into a guy, they'll open up their hair, they will open up their neck, right? They will push their hair away to make themselves look more feminine. They'll relax their shoulders, they'll press their arms together to make their breasts look nicer. They will, face the man's body, right? Because they want to be close to him. They want to look appealing to him. It's just biology. It's non-verbal communication 101. And that's what girls do when they're into you. And if you've had a first date with a girl and you go in for a hug and she just kind of rejects you and she avoids being close to you, I mean, there's your answer. She's not that into you. Because when women like you, they look for reasons to be close to you. They look for reasons to spend time with you. They want to know everything about you, and they want to maximize everything they can from being in your presence because they're attracted to you. When they're not, they want to kind of just pull away. And as I mentioned, there's girls that will date you because they just don't know any better. They'll go on 1 date, 2 dates to try and see if you're suitable for each other. And then on the date, they kind of come to that realization, oh, he's just not for me. So they just pull away. Not into you. Number 7, combination to what I said, is the body language, which is basically the same. I overstepped this one. So, yeah, body language is closed off, like crossing her arms, even her feet pointing away from you, avoiding eye contact, kind of facing away from you or looking around the room while you're talking. And this is more prevalent when you first approach a girl. So if you go up to a girl that you think is beautiful and you're like, oh, hey, pretty girl, and you approach her, you use a pickup line, whatever you young guys do. If she's not into you and she's not receptive to that, this is what you're going to notice. Like, she'll avoid eye contact, she'll kind of look away, right? You're talking to her and she's kind of like, yeah, whatever. She's kind of distracted. Her body language is closed off. She's pulling away from you. That's what you will see as well. If you approach women and they're not into you, they will reject you with their body language. Number 8. 8th sign she's not into you is doesn't include you in her life. So when women are not into you, they don't want to introduce you to their friends or family. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed of being around you or near you. They don't want to be associated with you. And she doesn't talk or include you in any of her future plannings or events or things that she has planned, like in her schedule a week from now, 2 weeks from now. Whereas when a girl likes you and she wants to spend time with you, she clears up her schedule for you. Versus when she doesn't, in combination to what we said earlier, where she's cancelling, she's always busy, she's unavailable, is she'll fill up her free time with filler activities. Oh, I'm just staying in today watching a show. Oh, I'm with my girlfriends. Oh, I don't feel too well. I have a tummy ache. I don't want to go out tonight. When girls are not into you, they make up all sorts of excuses. They don't want to be near you. And this is more for the guys where you've had a couple of dates already, like maybe 2-3 dates. So you've been out for like a few weeks with a girl. Maybe you're talking in between, but you can kind of feel like she's not that into you. This is really what's going on. Maybe you've told your buddies, your family, yeah, I met this beautiful girl, I really like her. And you ask her, oh, so what do your family, your friends think about me? And she'll tell you, oh, I haven't really told them about you. Like no one knows about you in her life. That's a sign that she's not into you. Because when a girl feels like she's found a guy who's like a catch, he's handsome, he's everything she's dreamed of, she wants to show that off to her family and friends. She wants to say, look at what I've got. Look what sort of man I have. If she's not doing that with you, I'm sorry guys, she's not that into you. Okay, so if you feel like you're more like one of those beta male cucks who's just like the gay male girlfriend who's just like standing around holding her handbags, right? If you're not part of her life, if you feel like you're outside of, whatever it is she has planned, you're like a second option. You're just not a priority to her. If you feel that you're genuinely just not a priority, like she chooses to do other things with her friends and other activities instead of spending time with you, she's not that into you. Excuse me, I've been sick the last few days. I've been kind of, if you can tell, my voice is off or I'm coughing. Yeah, I've been quite sick the last few days, but I'll be okay. So again, like, this is basic. If she's not including you in her life, she doesn't want the people closest to her to know about you. Like, especially with girls that are very social, they want to show off the boyfriend to everyone. So if you're going on a few dates or you're getting to know a guy, usually girls, they tell their girlfriends, I met this guy, he's really handsome, oh, we're having these dates, where's he going to take me, da-da-da-da-da. If she's kind of keeping you hush-hush and she doesn't want everyone to know about you, she probably doesn't see you long-term. Number 9, she takes a long time to respond or doesn't respond at all. In combination to what we said right at the beginning, when you're texting her, she doesn't initiate convos, doesn't ask questions, it's kind of like one-sided. It's kind of similar to that, which is when you text her, she takes hours or even days to reply to your texts or calls without a valid reason. You get a text message at 2 p.m. Oh, I slept in, haha. My phone died last night. Sure it did. So if she's disappearing, I mean, everybody wakes up, what's the first thing most people do? You turn off the alarm on your phone, you check your messages from whatever, your work, your college, your business, your family, you go through your loved ones, and then you get on with your day. Everybody has their phone on them. There's just no excuse nowadays. She wakes up and the first thing she doesn't do is want to text you or give you an update and let you know what she's doing, she's probably not that into you. Because when a woman likes you, she's connected to you during periods of absence. Because she thinks about you, she misses you, she wants to bond with you, she wants to see what you're up to. And It's a sign of respect to let you know what she's doing, where she's at, where she's going, so that you know about her whereabouts, because she wants you to know what's going on, because she likes you, respects you. And when she doesn't, it's like she'll wake up, oh, she sees a good morning message from you, she'll ignore it for 5 hours and text you out, yeah, I guess I'll text that beta male back at 4 p.m. Hi, how's your day? Sorry, I've not really been on my phone. Meanwhile, she's got 5 hours screen time on TikTok. It's the girl's not into you. Stop making excuses for women that don't want you, guys. If she's taken hours or even days to reply to you, which is worse, she's not into you. There's no interest. I've had this experience when I was like 17, 18. You're a young teen. I know what it's like to be. You talk to a girl, she just disappears. She's not into you. But if you're dating a girl, you may be getting a bit more serious, or you're exchanging contact info, or you have a call scheduled or a date scheduled, and you text and then they just disappear and flatline you for hours or days. Something else has their attention, and it's definitely not you. If she claims that she forgot to respond to you, it's a lack of interest in even communicating with you. Because if she texts you, you text back, she leaves you on red, right? Oh, I forgot I left you on red. Oh, I'm so sorry, I put my phone down. If she was into you, do you know what she'd do? She'd be thinking, I texted him back. Why haven't I heard from him? Why hasn't he responded? That's what girls do when they're into you. They worry when you're texting them back. Then she'd look at her phone in 5 minutes. Oh, gosh damn it. Gosh darn it. Right? I forgot. I didn't respond to him. And she'll respond to you right away. That's what they do. That's how they course correct their behavior. If it's truly, oh gosh, it's an accident and I didn't text him back on time. Or I forgot to text him back. Guys, interest level cuts through all of this. This is what I need you to understand. So if the girl you really like, or the girl you approached and got the number, the girl you got on a dating app, or the girl you had a few dates with, is taking hours or days to text you back, she's probably not that into you. If it's outside of her schedule, when she works, when she has classes, what her routine or interest is like, when a woman's into you, she'll be finding time to text you and contact you in between her breaks or availability. Because as time goes by, you'd become a priority. And if you're not, she's not into you. Last but not least, she shows interest in others around you. Yikes. If you are in a group setting, you're with one of these girls, and you see that she openly flirts or talks about being interested in other people, it might be a sign that's her way of politely telling you that what you have between the both of you isn't romantic. This is usually when the guy is delusional and he thinks he has a chance, and the girl is just friend-zoning you. And that's a polite way of snapping you out of it and making you realize that she doesn't like you. And this is especially telling if she does it in your presence without any regard for your feelings. Okay, she can't be more obvious than that. If women do these things, they're just not that into you. So yeah, that's the video for today. Very basic. I'll leave links down below to my relationship community for you guys that would like to join and stay in touch with me personally. And yeah, let me know if you'd add anything else to this, if there are any other signs that you've seen from your experience that you'd put down below. Add it to the comment section. With that said, hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next one.